Welcome back everyone, and hope you guys are having a great day. This is starting part 3 of the Widebody series, and today we are going to be taking off the rear quarter panel part. We have everything cut so far besides the back right quarter panel, so we're going to go ahead and take off the kit and start mocking everything up and start cutting. We're going to be using the Dremel, and I'll show you guys why in just a little bit, just because the rear quarter panel has 2 pieces of metal that are incredibly close to each other. So if you use the angle grinder, you're most likely going to go through that second sheet of metal, and that's what we're going to use to make into those tabs, and then we're just going to seal it off with that. And obviously I'll show you guys whenever we get a little bit closer to it. But let's go ahead and start taking off the kit and getting everything mocked up and doing the last bit of cutting. Alright, so we have the kit off and put to the side, and we're going to start marking up where we need to cut. And the left side actually is already cut. I wanted to get that done first, that way we knew exactly what we were doing. It's kind of hard to see, but we probably took about 2 inches and cut off to the left and kind of just followed the body line. We cut from around right here, went in and kind of just followed up and brought it down. And the left side is what I was having the most trouble on when I was actually just driving the car normally. And I was rubbing a lot, and now that it is cut, I have not heard anything on the left hand side, and it is really nice. So we're going to start marking this up and let's get cutting. Alright, so this is where we're at now. I can only imagine this rust is from the actual holes where water is just seeping right through. So obviously it's going to be cut anyway, so it should be fine. But this is kind of where I see most people not really showing what they're doing, and where I kind of just had to guess. But obviously this is the first layer of metal, and it was sitting up, and then I just got my pop clip remover, and I went in there and kind of just was able to bend the metal backwards. And on the other side, this adhesive that actually holds the metal to the actual, I guess, the frame was a lot stronger, so we had to do some cutting. But it seems like this side really popped off a lot easier. And now we're just trying to get off right there. There's some adhesive kind of going down, so I'll pick this up whenever we have this off. Really, I just think I need to keep on wiggling it off. Don't think I need to cut anymore, honestly. Yeah, I will pick up in just a moment. Alright, so just to give you guys a better representation of what is actually going on with this piece of metal. So if you see the white strip, that is the adhesive, and then probably every, what is that, probably 3 inches or so, there are spot welds. So that's usually the hardest part about removing this actual piece of metal. But what I've really found is the pop clip remover is working really well, because I can just get in there and start wiggling the spot welds loose. I mean, spot welds are great, but you know, if you're actually going to take it off, this is a lot easier than if this whole entire thing was welded shut. But really it's just me coming in here, going in between the seams and kind of just wiggling the spot welds loose. But like I said, let's go ahead and finish taking this piece off, and then we'll start cutting the slits and making everything all pretty. All right, and for the moment of truth, there we go. And honestly, from the last clip, that was probably 30 seconds of just wiggling it back and forth. So definitely, if I can do it, you guys can do it too. But let's go ahead and start cutting these slits. I think this is going to be more than enough for clearance. As you guys can see, like just using the Dremel, I cut through a little bit right here, and I think that's it. But like I said, let's go ahead and cut the slits and get the wheel back on and take it for a test drive. All right, so there we have it. The slits are all cut and kind of formed to the car. That way they can actually be welded. Still definitely enough metal there. And honestly, I don't know if we're even going to weld them. I don't know what exactly the plan is yet, if we're just going to seal them off or what we're going to do. But definitely whatever we do is going to be the right thing. We're not going to cheap out on anything, but I'm going to get the Dremel and put the plastic bit on and just clear out some of that fender liner, and then clean up and get the wheel back on, and let's take it for a test drive. That way we can make sure there's no clearance issues at all. So the wheel is on. I'm going to go take a test drive. I have this weird feeling that I'm going to need to cut just a little bit more of an angle right here. But yeah, this is what the test drive is for. Make sure I don't need to cut anything else. And if so, that's really just plastic that needs to be cut. But yeah, probably took about 2 inches off. So let's go ahead and take that test drive, and I'll report back in just a moment. We have made it back, and the car drives so smooth. No bumps, no rubbing, no nothing. The car is driving like butter. The last thing that we needed to do before we put on the kit was this right here, and where is it? Right here is right where the kit would overhang. So I cut it to where, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense if you guys aren't necessarily seeing it, but the kit obviously comes out, and the back part was fitting off like this close. So I just cut it at the angle, that way the wheel still has some room once the kit is actually fully attached. So let's go ahead and put on the kit, and I'll probably end it here for right now. This isn't going to be the end of the video, but it is going to be the end of the day. I'll put on the kit, and I'm actually going to go to Lowe's and get some stainless steel hardware. That way the kit can be bolted together. And then I will probably pick this up on Saturday when we start actually sanding the car and getting everything bolted together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first part, and I will see you guys very shortly. So this is a good bit later from the last time I picked up, but new things have happened. We have gone ahead and bolted everything together, and it has made the kit turn out a whole lot better. The last thing that we have to do is just actually sand it, but look how much better these body lines are lining up. This was shifted down and up, and now it's sitting super good. We have to put on the door piece just because we epoxied some squares onto the back of it to pull it out since it was really sunken in. So we'll have to put that on before we start sanding. And everything up front is looking good. Really don't have to sand much on there at all, if any. But yeah, let's get the door piece on, and we're going to start sanding, and this should be the final step before we get this into paint. So it has been a long time coming, and definitely some hard work, but we are so close to finishing. So let's get you guys on the stand, let's get the door piece on, and let's start sanding and getting this thing finally done. I actually just went ahead and actually started sanding this side down, and I think I'm done with the left side. It's turning out really well. I put on the door piece, and I just don't want to sand down anymore because you guys can tell I'm getting pretty close to breaking through, and I really don't want to do that. I know it's not going to be perfect, but head on, I think it looks really good. and it's just a tiny lip, and I think I'm just gonna have to deal with it just because I really don't want to break it now after we're so close to finishing. So went ahead and did the backside as well, and I think it's turning out incredibly nice. It's looking really good. So I'm going to set you guys up and let's go on to the left side, which isn't going to be much work. I think this is it. I think we are almost done. Yeah. So let's do the left side and let's get this done. I know it wasn't much video of me actually sanding, but that really just goes to show that I didn't need to sand much. Or honestly, there's not much I can actually sand just because the kit wants to do its own thing. But I think it's turning out super well. I just went and called Show Zone, and they're going to give me a call back when I can get in for paint. But honestly, I am so happy with the turnout of this car. It is going really well. Now it's just time for paint. So went ahead and sanded everything down. I know it's not 100% perfect, but that's what you're going to do whenever you're going into wide bodying car. It's you know it's not going to be 100% perfect, but I'm really happy with the turnout of it. I feel like the lines are adding up super well, and yeah, we're almost there. So I'm going to end the video on this note, and I will pick this up when we are actually dropping off the kit for paint. Yeah, we are extremely close. The last thing that we just have to do is, once we get it back from paint, just put on the weather stripping that I'm going to be putting on, and the car will be freaking done. And then we have some more surprises coming in the future for the car. But yes, we're so close. We are so close to finishing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been over a few weeks so far, but it's kind of just the process of the kit as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys very shortly. Peace out.